Hi everybody, it's Beth, and today I'm making a fall and Christmas easel. I used this napkin from Dollar Tree, two 8x10 canvases from Dollar Tree, those are the frameless ones, a grateful word from Dollar Tree, it's Christmas window cling from Dollar General, and then some stir sticks, I get those from Amazon, white chalk paint, antique wax, and hot glue. First thing I did was painted both of the canvases with just one coat of the white chalk paint. Now they are white already, but I wanted it to have the paint look, so I just gave it one coat. And next I brushed on the antique wax by Waverly. I brushed it on all of the star sticks and then just took a baby wipe and blended them in, and I covered the whole thing front and back. And I had used 8 of them. And then I took my napkin from Dollar Tree and opened it up and removed the second ply on the back. And I tend to not like using scissors to cut the napkins just because it gives it a straight, kind of unnatural look. So I take water on a paintbrush and just brush it on the napkin where I want the cut to make, and then just pull it apart. And then I just trimmed off that border on the bottom of the napkin. And then what I did was took Mod Podge and I pretty much covered the entire thing because I didn't want it to have 2 different textures or sheens on there. So I covered the entire front part with the Mod Podge. And then I used my heating tool to dry it entirely. And then what I did next was kind of just held the napkin on there and put the stir stick on the bottom to see how far up I needed to put it. Placed it down on the dried Mod Podge. And then put a piece of parchment paper down and use my travel iron to iron it on. So what that does, it just reactivates the Mod Podge and makes the napkin adhere to it. And then once that was done, I did an outer layer of Mod Podge. And then after I had it dried completely, I just took my sanding block and sanded off the excess paper. Next, I covered the other canvas with the layer of Mod Podge, covering the entire thing again as well. This time, I did not dry this Mod Podge. And then I placed down the different window clings that I wanted to go on that side. Just smoothing them out with my fingers, pushing out all the air to get out all the bubbles. And then I used my heating tool to dry that layer completely and then did an outer layer of Mod Podge. Next, I took my Grateful Word from Dollar Tree and hot glued it into place. And then I took 2 full stir sticks and hot glued them to either side of the one with the pumpkins. Just making sure to line it up flush with the top and the sides. And I did the same thing with the Christmas side. And then I took another stir stick and just held it in between those two and kind of lined up my Fiskars shears and just cut that piece off. Gave it a quick sanding and then hot glued it into place on the top. And then I did the same thing with the other side on the top of the Christmas part. And then again for the bottom of the canvas, doing the same thing. So you'll have those little pieces of stir sticks still sticking out on either side of the canvas. And then once that was done, on the back side of one of them on the very top, I just ran a line of hot glue and glued them together at an angle. And just held them there until they were dry. And then what I did to make it a little more sturdy, I took the scrap pieces from the ones I had cut and just held it along the side and cut the stir stick at an angle. And then I held that piece up and just used it as a guide to cut the angle on the other side. And it's okay if you cut it a little smaller or larger than you intended, because you can just move it up or down on the easel and then it'll fit fine. I gave those sides that I had cut just a quick sanding. Then I flipped it over onto its side and just moved the stir stick into place just to see where I was going to put it. Put hot glue on both ends of the angled pieces of the stir stick I cut, and then just place that down. And then I did the same exact thing on the other side. And then the last thing I did is where I had cut those stir sticks on the side, you could see the unfinished wood, so I just touched it up with a little bit more of the Waverly wax. That is it. I just think it turned out really adorable, and you can use it for a couple seasons. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video.